Ali in the Science Kingdom by Miley Patricia Colon Rodriguez. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Alisa. At only 8 years old, she was very unsure about what she wanted to study when she was older. All her friends were already starting to talk about what they wanted to do, but she felt a little behind. Her parents tried to convince her to not study anything related to science, since they mistakenly thought that since she was a woman, she wouldn't make it. But Alisa was very passionate about science. She was very intelligent and curious. At school, she was always very attentive to what her teachers taught and got very good grades. The only problem was that she didn't know much about the different branches of science and did not know which one interested her more. Alisa routinely did her assignments and chores after getting home from school. She loved reading her science book and spent long hours during the afternoon thinking about the experiments they did in her class. One afternoon, she went to sleep and woke up in the middle of the night when she heard a strange noise coming from her closet. She walked toward the noise and saw a door, a tiny green door in the closet's wall. Alisa stared at this door with much curiosity. After looking at it for a while, she asked herself some questions about that amazing discovery in her closet. That door was not there before. With a lot of intrigue, she opened the door, and suddenly a very intense wind came from the door and drew her into what seemed to be a black hole, pulling her with great force. It kept pulling her until the darkness took over her eyes and she could not see anything. When she opened her eyes again, she seemed to be in a very strange and alternate place, but above all, very, very interesting. It was another world apart from planet Earth. While she was still on the ground, her curiosity and tendency to ask herself questions while observing things allowed her to attempt to understand where she was and what this interesting world was. Alisa quickly got up off the floor. The first thing she could observe was a lot of laboratory glassware of different colors. She remembered some of them from her science class, like the jar that the teacher called the graduated cylinder. She also saw others that her teacher called test tubes. However, they were not like the ones scientists use in labs on Earth. They were gigantic. A drop of the liquid that was in them fell from time to time on a gigantic laboratory paper. When that drop touched the paper, she observed that the paper reached and changed color. She also observed that when these substances were mixed, smoke came out of the bottle. It was a clear and sunny day, and there didn't seem to be many people circulating the place. When she reached a little path between the laboratory jars, she saw a huge microscope that was almost in the middle of the path. Ali, as her friends and family called her, looked very small, like a toy next to the objects in that world. It was a fantastic world, full of objects that she remembered seeing in her science class. The only thing is that instead of normal size, like she was used to seeing them, in this world these objects were triple their size, and she could see every single detail of them. At the right side of the path, she could see a gigantic sign which displayed a map with information, but she could not read it due to her height. When looking forward, she observed an arch that was curving over the main path, and that had a sign with a list of the names of specific lab instruments. Number 1, graduated cylinders. Number 2, test tubes. Number 3, petri dish. Number 4, flask. And number 5, micropipettes. She continued walking and saw that some things, when splashed by the chemicals, changed color. She asked herself why that happened. Suddenly, she looked to the side and saw a strange figure that moved quickly towards her. Ali was completely surprised by the figure that stood beside her and began to talk. "Good morning, my name is Adam," exclaimed the figure. "Adam? What an unusual name. Nice to meet you. My name is Alisa and I am very lost. Would you care to tell me where I am?" Alisa asked kindly. "Well, Alisa, you are none other than in the kingdom of natural sciences. In this kingdom, we focused on the studies of the phenomena and processes of nature. To find your way back to home, you will have to get all the way over there to the castle of the natural sciences," asked Mrs. Adam. "So then, Mrs. Adam, what is the path I should take?" asked Ali. "There are 4 villages ahead. Be careful to not get sidetracked or distracted by the 4th village. Otherwise, you will never arrive at the castle," said Mrs. Adam carefully. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adam. Before I go, I have a question. Why is it that when some of the chemicals fall from the bottle and touch the paper changes color? Ali asked with great enthusiasm. Well, Alisa, that all has to do with chemical reactions. Chemistry is one of the most interesting branches of natural sciences. When certain chemicals mix, it can make them burn, dissolve, change color, and many other things. These are called chemical reactions. Chemistry is the study of all types of matter and changes to matter. I love living here in the chemistry village. No one ever gets bored. Every inhabitant and visitor of this village are engaged and never want to miss out on anything that may happen. We are all attentive to discover everything that is happening and never fall behind in our understanding. Something new could happen every day, assured Mrs. Adam. That sounds interesting, Mrs. Adam. Thank you, Ali asked happily. Ali continued her path until reaching a bridge formed by rocks of different colors and shapes, under which there was a large river of lava. She quickly crossed and came to a rock that walked and talked to herself. This new figure greatly caught Ali's attention, and she decided to talk to her and get to know her better. Hello, Mrs. Rock. My name is Ali. Would you care to tell me where I am and which path should I follow to get back to the castle? I am lost and I need to find my way back home, Ali asked while carefully observing the rock. Greetings, Ali. My name is Obsidian, said Mrs. Rock with a happy and energetic tone. Welcome to the geology village. Here you will find all types of rocks and minerals, and you will get to explore volcanoes, fossils, and all types of soil. Sounds interesting, Obsidian, but what is geology in the first place? Asked Ali. I'm glad you asked, Alisa. Geology is a spectacular branch of the natural sciences. Your eyes will never stop admiring an immense and powerful erupting volcano. You will be amazed to know that beautiful stones of incomparable beauty exist. Geology is a natural science, the study of planet Earth, its composure and structure. It includes the study of phenomena such as earthquakes to protect us and keep us safe. Not only do we analyze stones, minerals, and soils, but so much more. It is a basic and fundamental science to help understand other disciplines of knowledge as well. Geology is truly wonderful, said Obsidian. I can't believe it. I didn't know all of this. Thank you, Mrs. Obsidian. I would stay and continue talking, but I must go. Now, how do I get all the way to the castle? Ali asked her new friend. To get to the castle, continue this path without deviating. Good luck, Ali, said Mrs. Obsidian, waving goodbye. Ali continued down her path until she saw something very strange in the distance. There seemed to be electromagnetic forces and giant magnets. She tried to not get too distracted and continued until she reached the next village. This village seemed to be the strangest of them all. It was all dark, and the only visible thing was the stars and what seemed to be Saturn? Mars? What is all of this? Where am I? Ali asked herself, a bit restless. You don't have to feel restless, answered a beam of light coming from the dark sky. The astronomy village is a very safe and amazing. Who is speaking to me? Answered Ali, while looking around to see where that deep and celestial voice came from. I am Antares, one of the brightest and most interesting stars that you can observe in the night sky from Earth. Nice to meet you. What brings you all the way over here? My name is Ali and I am lost. I need to get to the castle as soon as possible. Then I can go back home again, said Ali as she stopped for a while and observed where she was. My, what a beautiful place this is. My teacher had talked about astronomy before. I find it so interesting. That's true, Ali. Astronomy is the study of the universe, the stars, the planets, and so many other galactic systems. We study how the stars form and how comets, meteorites, and other celestial bodies travel through space. Through astronomy, we can learn and explore the solar system in its totality. We still have so much more to learn and discover, but that's what girls like you are for. Girls who can be the astronomers of the future to continue exploring the unknown and making great discoveries. I love it. Thank you so much, Mrs. Antares. You are very kind, said Ali with a sparkle in her eyes, imagining that she could be a great astronomer in the future. You're welcome, Ali. And to get to the castle, continue down this path until you find yourself in the last village. There, they will show you how to enter the castle, said Antares while she illuminated the path Ali must follow. Mrs. Antares, before I go, I have a question. While on my way here, I observed a very strange village from afar. I saw some gigantic magnets and what seemed to be electromagnetic forces. What was that? Asked Ali, hoping to find the answer. That was the physics village. It is far away from the rest of the villages. Once you enter, it is very hard to get out, answered Antares. But why? Ali asked again. It is because of the magnetic forces. In physics, you study energy, magnetism, space, and time, and there are so many other things, like why objects attract one another, answered Antares. So that's why Mrs. Adams said that I shouldn't get sidetracked, because of the magnetic forces. I would like to visit there one day, and when I am not this rushed. Once again, thank you, Antares. Ali said goodbye, amazed at what she had learned. She continued down her path until she arrived at the last village. This one was a bit different from the rest. In it, there were only living creatures. You could see humans, plants, and all types of animals. Hello there, greetings. I am Miss Bacteria, she quickly said after seeing Ali arrive. Nice to meet you. My name is Ali, and I am very lost. I need to find my way back home. Could you please tell me where I am? Asked Ali. Sweetie, you will be amazed when I tell you. You are in none other than in the biggest village in this whole world. Welcome to the biology village. If you are asking yourself what the heck is biology, then good. Biology is the study of everything that is alive and its properties. There are many branches of biology. There is marine biology, which is the study of living things that inhabit in the ocean. Microbiology, which is the study of like the name says, microorganisms, such as bacteria like me. Botany, which is the study of all types of plants. Zoology, which is the study of animals, and many other branches. I am always at your service if you wish to know more about this fascinating village. Ali noticed that Mrs. Bacteria loved to talk about this topic because she talked very passionately and with much enthusiasm. That sounds interesting. Thank you very much, Miss Bacteria. Now, if I may ask, how can I enter the Grand Castle? To enter the castle, you will have to knock on the main door 3 times. Then, the door will open and you will come across the queen of all of these villages. She will tell you what you need to do to go back to your world, revealed Miss Bacteria. So long, Miss Bacteria. I hope I don't get sick now, whispered Ali as she kept on walking. Ali finally arrived at the main door. She knocked 3 times, and as Miss Bacteria said, the door opened. She walked up the stairs and saw the queen sitting on her throne. Good afternoon, Your Majesty. My name is Ali. I am lost and I don't know how I even got here. Could you tell me how I can travel back home? Oh, dear Ali, you are here for a purpose. I know you are interested in studying science, but that you weren't clear with the different branches. In these villages you visited, you could learn in detail about them. This is only the beginning. I invite you to continue your journey, and you will meet kind people called mentors that can guide you and help you achieve your goals. For your part, keep studying and cultivating the curiosity, study habits, perseverance, and effort qualities I know you have. Many women that were once little girls, like you, have studied science and have contributed enormously to the development of these disciplines. I am sure that you can accomplish anything with effort and determination. I also know that you do not feel much support from your family, since they think that science is not for girls, but show that you can educate them about the important contributions of women in science. Just like them, you can achieve your goals if you remain determined. Have courage, Ali. We believe in you. Suddenly, Ali heard a weird noise, just like the one she heard before going through her green closet door. She quickly saw a bright light that dazzled her eyes until she could see nothing more. She opened her eyes again and she was sitting on her bed. It was still 2 in the morning. It had all been a dream. What a weird dream. But at least now I know for sure that I want to study science. I can do it, said Ali with great firmness. She looked toward the sky through her window and saw what seemed to be Antares from afar. Thank you so much, Antares, and thanks to all of you. I promise that one day I will return. Thank you for joining me in the reading of Ali in the Science Kingdom by Miley Patricia Colon Rodriguez. If you enjoyed this reading, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and to share this reading with your family and friends. Thank you.